Hey, welcome everybody. Welcome to another Tuesday night watch talk. My name is Bobby Legs, and I am your co-host this evening. I am joined by a couple of my good friends here in the hobby. Wolfgang, how are you, man? Good to see you again. What is shaking?
Good, good. Thank you. Good to see you guys and everybody in the chat.
I was I was watching Tim Wright last night, like at 10 o'clock is later, and I'm like made a comment, and he was talking about like hey Bobby Legs, if you see, you're friends with Wolfie, say hello to Wolfie, like you were saying on the stream. So, so he
Nice.
knows, he knows about you. He knows.
Yeah,
Well,
we,
you met him a couple times, right?
we
So,
met him a couple of times. Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, it
yeah,
was all during the last trip, but we met him a few times. Yeah.
yeah. What do you got on wrist tonight, Wolfie?
50 fathoms.
Oh, I forget that you have that watch.
Ooh, so
Yeah,
nice.
it's one of my oldest ones. It's probably,
Oh, man.
I thought about it today, 4 years at least, maybe even, no, it's probably 4 years now.
Yeah,
Really,
I
really
totally
into it.
forget because
What a beauty.
I'm so used to seeing your collection when you're in Austria, right? And you
Yeah.
post pictures and whatnot. I forget about the collection you have over here, and then I forget about the watches that you have over here.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. What a great watch, man. You have some like excellent divers. You know that? Like you have some you have some classics.
A few, yeah, but this might be my favorite. It's always hard to pick one, but
Your favorite diver?
yeah, it might be my favorite. Yeah, might be the last if I would ever have to sell or get
Mm-hmm.
out of
Mm-hmm.
collecting. This might be the last diver to go.
Would you? I know you're trending towards like more like pilot watches lately, but
Yeah, lately. Yeah.
but uh, if you would have to pick like three of your favorite divers, you had the 50 fathoms, right?
Hmm.
Would that new CQ be in
Yeah,
your top three?
probably. Yeah, I'd probably be if it's three divers, probably the 50 Fathoms, the CQ,
One of your Panoramas?
and probably the BMG Tech. Yeah. Yeah, probably.
So the
That's
Sea Dweller not even cracking the top
No,
three.
I don't think I would keep the seat dweller would be more like well, it's not even an only watch anymore because in parts of the world you gotta be careful with Rolex on the wrist lately.
Right, right, right.
But Rolex, because of its durability, would be I would always consider the option if
Hmm.
like for one or two pieces, if you have like a dress watch and a sports watch,
Yeah, yeah,
Rolex in that environment makes more sense. But if I consider my favorites, it's not in there.
yeah. But if you really were gonna dive,
Yeah,
you
well,
probably
yeah. If you're really gonna dive, it's either that one. Pelagos is 500 meters, I think, right?
yeah.
So that
Oh,
would,
you have a Pelagos too?
yeah.
I forget about
Also like one
that.
of the
Yeah,
early entries, yeah. Those two probably are the most
yeah,
water resistant.
yeah.
Yeah, because
And toughest, right? I mean, like that Pelagos
yeah,
is
those two
pretty
are
tough.
tough. The
Yeah,
Pens are 300 meter. I mean, you
yeah.
could theoretically dive, but
Right, right.
probably
Um,
not gonna happen anyway.
yeah. Hey Alan, what's up, man?
Hey guys, not too much. I'm wearing a watch with a very cousin of the movement in Wolfie's 50 fathoms. So,
Yeah,
you know, Brigade 5817.
excellent,
Doing well, having a good Tuesday.
excellent.
Good,
Excellent. I
good to
got
be
to
here with you guys.
and it's great to you to be here. I got a bone to pick with with both of you guys tonight.
Yeah.
What?
Um, maybe not a bone, but I'm just we're gonna get there. I got the yeah Mariners, right?
Yubby.
Yeah, yeah. I'm waiting for a couple of straps coming in for the Hobring.
Mm.
Um, the strap that it came with is more dressy. So on Thursday, I'm gonna play a little dress up game with the straps that, that come in. I bought a couple, so I'm looking forward to that. So I could feel like I will wear it more often. Let's say hello to the chat real quick. Um, hey now, Joey's here first. Dan second. Wolfie, you're cheating at third.
Oh,
Easy
I
clean. You get the third place right there. Chaz is fifth. What's going on, Chaz? Bill K, how you doing? Hey, Brownie's here, ready for some watch talk with the best group of watch geeks. Thank you, sir, on the interwebs. Hey, Dan. Hey, Wolfgang, Chaz, Clayton, Bill. Marceau is here. Hey, Marceau. Loving your Instagram and loving some of those pictures you're putting up on the Facebook groups, man. Um, there
He
is.
got that. What's that unbelievable thing he has? What brand is that?
Well, he got a Benzinger recently.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
one. Yeah,
yeah, that he kind of like had a hand in, and as I understand it, had a hand in kind of designing it.
I think so. Yeah, and he takes
Yeah.
amazing close up, macro
Oh
shots.
yeah, that's right. That's right. That's what it was. That
Yeah,
made me think of it too. Like the other day, either yesterday or today, he had an
yeah, he
extreme close
goes
up in the back. It was
goes in deep. Yeah,
awesome. Awesome.
amazing.
Super cool.
Justin is strapped in. Hey, Mike, what's going on? B Dev is here. What's up, B Dev? Guys, let us know what you're wearing on wrist. Mez 9. I know exactly. So Sanjay got the correct pronunciation. It's Mez 9. So thank you for joining us. Um, James is here. What's up, my buddy James? How you doing? Caliber is here. Pale Horse riding in. Peter C, what's up? Hey, Chris from the Watch Lounge is here. Deech is here. Junior Johnson, what's up? Hello from Michigan. Christopher, hello, first live stream, but I've been following for a while. Hey, thanks, Christopher. Welcome to the party. Uh, Ken Spear is checking in from Pittsburgh. Wilson's here. Jeffrey O'Neill, have any of you seen the watch being made by Richard Perret? It is called the Seawolf. He is a watchmaker with a channel, and I think the watch looks cool. Anybody familiar with that?
Mm,
So
doesn't Zodiac have a sea
They
wolf?
do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the only sea wolf I know. I think.
so Richard Perret is a channel. So he has a YouTube channel, I guess. Okay. So hey, I mean, I'm not familiar, but I'll definitely take a look. I've been following. What is? I'm trying to see if I get the channel name. It's like Wristwatch Revival or something, or I don't know. I think that's the name of the guy. Or Watch Revival, something like that. I'm sure somebody will correct me in on the chat, but he takes in a watch and he like basically like fixes it, or like repairs it, like watches that are kind of beat up, and he cleans it up, and it's like about a half an hour, 40-minute episodes from the start to finish. And it's a kind of a cool thing when I'm in bed and I'll just put it on and kind of just doze off and just watch him like take apart a watch, clean it up. There's a
This
couple.
guy, Richard Perret.
No, not Richard
Oh,
Perret.
I got you.
This another gentleman who doesn't is not making any watches, but he just repairs watches. I think he's a self-taught like watchmaker,
Oh, okay.
and but good stuff for sure. Kevin S is here. What's up, Kevin? Um, then we have another Kevin. What's up, Kev? Uh, Wilson.
What's this bone to pick you got with
Just,
us? You can't
let's
just
just
throw
say
that out there and
let's just say hello to everybody. It's not really a bone to pick. Wolfgang, you have to keep the Sea Dweller so we can win. That's what
Yeah,
Wilson
not
is
going
saying.
anywhere. Of course. I mean, with Rolex going crazy, if anybody, I have that, what they call it, like there's a difference to the first few pieces or the
Mhm.
first years, Mark 1 and 2 or something.
Yeah.
I have the first one. So anybody wants to, 100K, it's yours. But other than that, I want to win too.
Yeah.
Against the Yap Mariner crew.
The okay.
So
All right. So
violent.
I'm gonna put the chat aside. So, you guys, I'm really confused with what you guys are doing this year, right? You guys say one thing, then there's a lot of
this
caveats,
is
and
where
there's
you're
just a
going.
lot of this is where I'm going.
I don't know
And
what
then
you're
there's
talking
and then
about.
there's like and it's only January 18th, right? And there's been a lot of things going on here. So Amin, you picked up something recently, right?
I did.
And so let's just use your logic on how this is.
All right.
Okay,
I'll
go ahead.
I'll I'll tell you where I'm coming from, and I think this is consistent with my earlier statements, but you guys can tell me. So recently, I got the RGM. I bought a new Wolf watch box with 15 watches in it. I put pretty much all my watches in there, and I looked at it and I said, I've put more of my family's money into watches than I probably should have, or at least close. Maybe not more, but enough, right? So, and I said I got a bunch of watches I like a lot. I'm gonna kind of cool things down, but I might trade out some that are not the more expensive watches in the box, right? So, I ended up um I've had my eye on this watch, I would say, as long as I've been collecting watches, pretty much.
Okay.
Um, Not this exact model, but Grand Seiko, as far as I know, has had three versions of this. The Grand Seiko experts in our group can correct me if I'm wrong, but originally they had this with Seiko at the top, Grand Seiko at the bottom. Then they came out with this one, Grand Seiko at the top. Then they came out with a new version that has a independent jumping hour adjustment for travel time, which is what Wolfgang just got. And I've always thought, if I get a quartz watch, high accuracy that I really really want, this will be the one. And lots of times I was thinking I'd get cheaper high accuracy quartz or quartz watches that were kind of to scratch this itch without spending the money. Anyway, um, I was chatting with some of our friends in and this came up, and in the chat I was like, what could I offer? It came up in a Facebook group, and while in the chat I threw a bid out there. Um, you know, got it for they said yes, great price. Sold my Longines the same day. Sorry, Wolfgang. Um, for basically the exact same price, within $100 of what I bought this for. So effectively, I traded my Longines green
Mm,
dial bronze watch for this
mhm,
watch.
mhm.
My total money in the collection stayed the same. I got a watch that I think has more staying power for me. I get to try something new. So that's my explanation.
Okay. Okay. And so, but this does well. Okay. I mean,
Does
so
it count for me? Yes. I would
okay.
go so far as to say this is would be a core collection piece for me.
So this doesn't get the Wolfgang exception because it's
E-
quartz. It doesn't count.
Even though it's the exact same model as Wolfgang, except his is the newer, fancier reference.
Yeah.
It counts for me. It doesn't count for him. It's just our unique perspectives on
So
watch
diplomatic.
collecting.
So diplomatic. Okay. All right. Before we get to Wolfie, let's say hello to some people. Hey, Ken, how you doing? Hey there from Phoenix. Um, Ms. Knight is wearing the Hamilton Navy Pioneer Small Seconds again tonight. Um, Wilson's talking to Karan there. What's going on? Uh, let's see here. Yep, Wristwatch Revival. Yeah, that's the name of the guy. His name is Marshall, and his videos are well done. Yeah, very, very well done. If you haven't checked out his channel, go check out his channel. If you just want to veg out for half an hour, watch him work on a watch, and he has pretty good narration. It's worth the time for sure. Um, Pere is in Wales. Okay, all right. So he's over there in the UK. Um, let's see here. Kevin SS. The Sea Wolf looks like another submarine clone. Okay. All right. Here we go. There's a lot of Dallas Cowboy talk, which I'm gonna. Which one? Marceau saying the Wristwatch Revival is a fun channel. There is a guy from the UK also called the Naked Watcher. I will also subscribe to him too. He's really good too. For sure. Uh, Kevin S. John Mayer, G Shock. All right, Wolfie.
Yeah?
You're not gonna live this down.
What?
Okay. I'm sorry, guys. I am catching up on the chat here. Marcel, yep, we established that course doesn't count. Well, Wolfie has for sure. And then let's go here. Wow, you guys are really going at it, which is awesome. Let's see here. Okay, so I'll catch up again in a little bit. Now, Wolfie. Okay, so you're amazing. So last week you pick up the Grand Seiko, it doesn't count. Whatever. Now this week you get
Yeah,
a
this counts.
Zenith Pilot. What's going on with this? Tell us about this one.
Well, I always liked it.
Yeah.
I'm talking like basically, I've been looking at it for 2 years probably. And
He's copying my what I said. I've always liked it.
yeah, I mean,
I'm kidding.
it's you guys might be, similar to me. It's kind of like some stuff catches our eye and it never really leaves,
Yes.
the consideration. And
Very true.
For sure.
with me, it's like that too. It's many of the pieces that I added later on basically been in consideration since I saw the first picture of it.
Yeah.
And so same thing with this one, just the perfect surrounding happened or environment, Clayton was there.
Yeah.
Clayton found something. I saw this good deal offered, tag team purchase, which I like. So
The Bobby leg smile, facial expression strikes again.
Well, I mean, this is I love it. You know how much
I love it too.
This
Yeah.
the Zenith Pilot. I'm like so close to just pulling the trigger on one. Geez, it's just horrible. This what it does to me. But this is not your first Zenith Pilot. You actually have another Zenith
Do you have
Pilot.
the picture? Do you have the picture?
I don't.
What?
If you could
Where was? We got to pull that up.
I have it.
That's the one where Colin's comment was hilarious.
Yeah, I think that I forgot what it said, but it was good.
Can you put it up on the screen?
Yeah, sure.
Colin looked this and was like, "You really don't care, do you?"
Yeah.
That's what it said.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're somewhat similar,
Somewhat similar.
The
Will
one
you
that-
leave one of those
Hey,
in
Chris.
the stateside and bring one back to
they're
Austria?
probably both gonna stay here. They kind of belong together, I think, for now. So they're probably both gonna stay.
Which one do you like better?
Yeah.
Probably if I would have, if I have to pick one, it'd probably be the Rescue. It's a little, it's I mean, they look very similar, but the Rescue has applied numerals and it appears a bit, it's way more shiny, because the steel is kind of darkened or something. They gave it that rugged look. The Rescue appears a little more, it appears bigger, which is probably an illusion. Hard to pick, but probably the Rescue I would keep if I would have to sell one.
It's be devastating. That onion crown is so onion, it makes your eyes tear when you wind it.
Yeah, that thing is huge.
Chaz says, "What's better than the Zenith Pilot? 2 of them." Very, very true. Both are extra special. So, okay, so not only do you have 2 Zenith Pilots, but you have another watch that's very reminiscent in styling, and that is the Moser, the Heritage, the Brucker edition, and that also very, very similar look. I know they're very different watches, right? And you've told me that too. That they feel different when you wear them. They're different, but stylistically, they're very, very close.
I never had them together because the Moser is in Austria, but
yeah.
The look is similar, but like I said before, completely different vibe of it. The Moser is way more, you can't say dressy, but it's thinner, appears more luxurious, not as rugged. It's I don't really, I just like the look of pilots, so I don't mind them being similar. I mean, this is basically the same watch, the Tone Up and the Rescue.
Yeah.
So that's a little close even for me.
And then you have the IWC Big Pilot, right?
Yeah. Well, that's kind of the original Big Pilot. 46 is the king of them all in my book.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Still,
Any other pilot watches? You have or no?
well,
Le-
I have two 46
Yeah.
and the 43.
Yeah.
So I have how many? Six pilot watches, I think.
And weren't you looking at another, the like bigger than 46 big pilot?
Yeah, the 48, the manual wind, that's really nice. But I don't know if I'm gonna add that one day. It's discontinued long ago.
Mm,
Tough to find at IDs. Maybe pre-owned one day
mm.
if the time is right. You know, it's the new me. I can only buy 3 or 4 per year.
A month. Yeah.
No, per year.
Oh, okay. Right. Okay. Mike is saying the IWC is out of pilot watches, so Wolfgang is on the Zenith now.
Those two brands are on the rise.
Yeah.
It's going to be the year of IWC and Zenith in our group, I think.
That'd be awesome. But well, let's see what they're gonna do.
Hey, Tennessee Mike is here. How you doing, buddy? Thanks for joining us. Okay, all right, Bobby. I'm gonna put in one of your cowboy jokes. Okay, why do ducks fly upside down over the cowboy stadium? Because there's nothing worth crapping on. Okay, Bobby.
I found out today Bobby's a Giants fan like me, which explains all his hatred for the Cowboys.
Yeah, and I'm a Washington fan, so the hate is also there. But I think everybody in the NFL probably hates the Cowboys just as much as we all hate the Cowboys. You know. So anyway, so that's the sports part of the stream there. Hey Neil, hey, no worries. We're just going over all of Wolfie's pilot watches that he just bought like in the last 3 days.
No.
I know. I'm kidding. Okay. So, do you anticipate any? I mean, I know, saying this is ridiculous, but do you anticipate any further purchases in the near future? Well,
No, in the near future, no. But
no.
I wouldn't completely rule out pilot purchases in the future. You know, it
Yeah,
doesn't.
you should just buy a plane. Just buy a plane.
I'm not a plane fan. I'm a pilot
Okay. My bad. My bad.
fan.
So you like pilot watches? Any interest? And I know what the answer is, but any interest in like a Rolex GMT?
No.
No. Okay. No.
That's
You're not interested in that kind of look. You just like the Flieger look. Basically, what we're talking about
yeah,
is the
yeah,
Flieger.
yeah. I like the
Yeah.
open dial. You know, the legibility of that type of look. I mean, I get that GMT is good looking. You
Mhm.
know, I get it, but it's even if it was 42, I wouldn't buy it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn.
Planes don't count. Well, excellent. Well, I mean, I approve. Wolfie, I know I'm giving you a hard time, but I approve of that, and it's so hard for me to not pull the trigger on. There's a couple of them that I've been watching on eBay and some other sites that are just, man, they're just beautiful watches. I've liked them for a long time now, and it doesn't make it easier that people within my watch circle are picking them up left and right, two at a time.
Yeah,
You know.
pretty affordable too. You know, compared to
Oh,
like
stop it! Just stop it
and
right now.
big pilot.
Just stop. Just stop.
It's a very worthy first of 4 watches, Wolfie.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's still January. If you
Yeah.
if you're really going to be doing 4 this year,
It's hard.
it's hard.
It's got to be done.
If the second one happens before the end of January, then it's hopeless for you.
It's
No,
hopeless.
Not gonna.
Yeah, because okay, let's walk it backwards from the end of this year. So December of 22, right? So like November, Las Vegas trunk show, right?
Mhm.
You're gonna want to buy a watch then.
At least one you're going to want to buy in November.
Yeah,
Yeah.
November for sure.
Okay.
If we do a meetup, you know, somewhere out east, I'm gonna buy
Yeah,
something.
walk it back to either like earlier, next few months. You're gonna wanna we all meet like in wherever we're planning on meeting.
Yeah, that's one.
You're
You
gonna
know,
that's one.
that's
That's
another
okay.
one.
So that's
That-
Then I
another
have
one.
That
one
leaves
more
one
to go.
more.
Yeah, I have one more option.
Yeah.
Might be the Calatrava. I don't know. Might get out of this one. Then I have whatever to choose.
There's
Maybe in
no
summer.
way you're just buying 4 watches.
Well,
You'll
hope
see.
springs eternal. I believe in you, Wolfgang.
The next week's
Well,
Tuesday
you
Night Watch
gotta.
Talk.
You guys weren't there, but you know, down in Arizona, I almost left without a purchase, and I've been tempted,
Mm,
extremely tempted. We went to an awesome AD with an amazing pre-owned collection with a few Parmigiani pieces that I really liked, and I mean there were options left and right wherever I looked. You know, he had Lange pieces left. I mean there were options,
yeah.
but I said, you know, think about it. Is this what you want to do? Because it's, you know, I'm serious about stopping adding so many pieces.
Hmm.
But then, you know, with Clayton together and, you know, running into one good price, one I always wanted, and I knew that I really, you know, wanted to add. So, but I almost left Arizona and, you know, because the GS doesn't count, then, you know, the whole trip would have been no watch purchase.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
not as ridiculous as it sounds to you. I almost left, you know, Arizona without.
But you're using the little bit pregnant defense, right? I mean, you either are pregnant or you're not. You either buy
I don't know
watches or
what
you
that
don't.
is.
It's not an almost you didn't buy watches.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, you know, mentally, it took a lot out of me to stay strong, you know, and stick to the plan, you know, and it almost happened. That's what I said. That's why what I mean. You weren't there, you know, so you didn't experience the angst and the anxiety. Clayton saw, you know, Clayton was, you know, he was getting something, and I was there with Mike, left alone, you know, not buying anything. It wasn't easy. So
We're glad you're okay, Wolfgang.
thanks. Yeah, it worked out fine.
We're glad you made it. We definitely. I just need a sip of my tea. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, onward, and upward. Question for the chat: how many watches have you bought since 1/1/22? One for me. So chat, if you want to play along. B Deb's got a good question out there. Okay.
Yeah.
Chaz is saying here the sub-Saharan Lunar New Year still hasn't happened, so Wolfie's still good at his goal. Oh man, man. Are we talking to Julian calendar or Gregorian?
I
That's the
believe
discussion.
Wolfgang that he's going to slow it down from last year to this year. I'm not going to bet
Yeah,
the over under on watches, but I think he'll pull it back because it makes sense. Every year your collection is closer to where you want it to be, and
it just, you know, it's a money issue too.
it's a
You
money
know,
Yeah,
issue too.
of
and
course. Yeah.
you know, it can't go on
Mm,
like it did in the pandemic years, and
yeah.
Yep.
so it's a little. The change is tough, you know, and but got to figure it out.
Yep.
Yeah. Of course.
And
I'm with you.
at the end of the year, we're gonna look back, maybe do a stream, you know, and you all gonna congratulate me on the
On all the
amazing
watches you
job I
bought.
did.
Yeah.
That I
On the
only got
restraint.
4, you know, and
Yep.
Yeah. Sure.
you're gonna appreciate the new me.
Okay. Okay. Oh no, no. I believe you. Kevin S almost didn't buy any watches until I bought 2 watches. Will of Iron Wolfie. Marcel is saying almost not buying a watch is really close to not buying a watch. He gets a pass.
Thank you.
Uh,
He gets it.
he
Yep.
gets
He gets it.
he gets it. He just gets you. Hey, Rashawn, what's up, man? How you doing? Hope all is well.
We have a very forgiving and understanding group here, gotta
Yeah.
say.
Nilo, 3 watches so far. 91110 3, Caliber 0,
Wow.
Mezzanine
And for
0.
free? Really?
We will blame 3 steaks in 3 days. Yes, that was it. Okay, Mike. is 0. Joe 4.
For Joey is just killing him.
Yes. Bill 0. One cheap one custom strap. Rasan 0. Um, yeah, well, it's turmeric ginger. I'll just leave it in. You know, it's not like it's like green tea or Earl Grey where you have to. You know. Anyway, Tea Talk by Bobby Legs. Navy Blue Monster is 0 so far. Fuse close calls. Floriosum 1 for me. Craig 2. In Austria 2 equals 0 on Fridays. Rasan almost broke yesterday. A DLC Santos
Oh,
almost got. That's a great watch, man.
Mhm.
yep.
We've been. I know. Colin has been looking at that watch, and yeah, that's an awesome watch. Um, you should get it. You should get it. Just get it. Yeah, just get it. Um, hey, Mike, what's up here? Desire 68 Frogman 0 until April. Oh, April. Okay. Um, all DLC thing is beautiful. Yeah, yeah, and it doesn't scratch
That's
easy, which is
awesome,
nice.
awesome piece.
Yeah. Um, just a quick heads up. I know I told some of you guys. Oh, go
Sorry,
ahead, Wolford. Yeah.
which I also saw at the AD. Was very tempted, but didn't do it.
The Santos.
The
Yeah.
Santos DLC, yeah, and they had the blue and the DLC.
Hmm.
Put it on everything,
Yeah.
left empty-handed.
What was it because you have this whole four watch thing this year stopped you,
Yeah,
or was this that was it? That was the only thing that stopped you?
yeah.
Okay.
I
Otherwise, you would have bought
probably,
it.
like the old me, probably because the Panerais were not for sale, I probably would have gotten the Parmigiani, the white dial, probably.
Yeah. Instead, ahead of the Santos.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
it's a little more money.
Yeah, but you were smitten by that Parmesan, weren't you?
Yeah, I mean, both the gray dial and the white dial. There's one thing, I'm not so much bracelet guy.
Mm-hmm.
So, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it works great on a strap too, but it's
Yeah.
basically built as an integration
Yeah.
sports watch, so, and that's not that high up on my list, but it's a really good one. I really like it.
Did they have any of the new ones? The new
Yeah,
Parmigiani?
the rose gold one. I
Mm.
don't know if you've seen a picture that I posted, but I always was worried about how they did the date on pictures. It looked like they cut it in too deep
At the bottom.
at the bottom, that little
Yeah.
date they put
Yep.
there.
Yep.
But in person, it didn't bother me. So the
Yeah.
steel one, because the gold is 50K, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
get that. But the steel one is an option for, I don't know, this year. But I was really impressed with the clean dial of
Mm,
the new. I don't know if they call them, what are they called now? The new ones, Tonda too, or what's the name for them?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
But you know what it is.
Yeah.
That
Yeah. Yeah.
it's a very, on pictures I wasn't sure until I saw it, but it's a really really good one.
Mm.
Let me see if I have a
How
picture.
did how did it looked like there was like a lot of empty space with the small logo at the 12 o'clock. How did that look in person?
Yeah, see, it in
Yeah.
in person, it here it looks like what you're saying. It's like a kind of empty looking, but in person, it looks incredibly luxurious and
Mm.
extremely detailed. The dial has steps to it, and it impressed me. The date didn't bother me at all,
Yeah.
so
Good. Mm.
much more impressive than I thought it'd be in person.
Mm. Awesome. In my defense, this is Joey here. Two were sub 1K. One has been in order for over a year, and the last one is being reacquired. Therefore, 0. Okay, so I like the math there. So two was under 1,000. That doesn't count.
I
One
would
that was
say,
ordered over a year ago, which that's logical, right? I mean, I wouldn't have count that for any this year. And then one is being reacquired. He had sold one off, and then 6 months later, now he's reacquiring it. So 0. Okay.
I
Actually,
would say,
one of the
it's one.
Why is it 1? The reacquired?
Because the under 1,000 don't count. I give him that.
Yeah.
But the reacquired counts.
Yeah.
But I
The
would
one
say
ordered last year, I would say he's probably right. It doesn't
Yeah.
count.
Yeah.
I mean, we
one,
get back to the age-old discussion. Does he make the payment now, or did he pay it already? So it's either one or two.
Yeah.
one of the under 1,000 is actually a more than 1,000 watch that he got for considerably less than 1,000. So that's like a negative purchase, you know?
Okay, I know what you're saying. Yeah,
Yeah.
it could. Yeah,
He would have been losing money not to buy that watch, is the way
yeah,
he put it.
yeah. I know what
I think he's right.
you might be correct. You might be correct. So he
Oh,
might
man.
be at -1 or at
-1.
0 because one counts, one
Exactly.
-1, so 0. So he
Yeah.
might be correct with 0.
I
Yeah.
think he's correct.
This is really pathetic. I mean, I'm with you guys, but this is really this is enabling 101 right here. And I love it. I love every minute of it. I want to give some of you guys a quick update. I had mentioned this on Sunday. Some of you guys already know because I talk to you guys pretty much on a daily, whether text or Facebook or whatever. But my harboring, I had reached out to the harborings because I had a couple questions about the box and what came with it and the watch itself. And Maria Harboring got back to me yesterday, and she was great. And we went back and forth a couple of times, and found out that my watch is a Felix, as I know, but as we knew it, or I knew it, but it was sold in 2019. The box was a box for an Irwin from 2017. So the box and the watch didn't match. She was able to authenticate my watch though with the pictures that I sent. So I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good with it. I'm good, especially because of the price that I got it at. I'm good with it. So yeah, she's awesome. She's awesome. Okay. What do you guys say we take a look at some watches, some new releases?
Let's do it.
Okay. There's been a couple. Slowly, they're petering in slowly. One I wanted to get your guys' thought on was these new Grand Seiko releases. I think they're new. I mean, anyway, they were announced the other day.
They're new.
Yeah. Wolfie, now that you're a Grand Seiko expert,
Yeah.
what are your
It's because
initial
I
thoughts
follow
on
a lot of the Grand Seiko nerds closely, so I
Yeah.
learn basically daily.
What do you think of these?
The GMT I really, really like.
Hmm.
The Chrono, I don't hate it, but the way they do these pushers is just weird.
Yeah. I mean, these
Why-
renderings make the pushers. I don't know if that's a realistic look,
I've
but
seen a few pieces in the metal, in person. It's weird looking. But I like the color combo of the GMT on a white rubber, for summer. Be nice.
What do you think,
I like them.
Yeah.
I think they're both good looking. I don't mind the pushers either. I feel like they're just very different. I like different.
Yeah.
So I
How
think
big are they now? Is there like the GMT? Is it 44 mm?
Yeah, the GMT looked big, right?
It says
No, I think this is the
With the chrono?
chronograph.
the Chrono's 44, 43.5.
And the setup is a little
GMT
bit.
is 44.
The setup there's a lot going on in the dial here, isn't there? Right.
Yeah.
And this is also a GMT, right? It's
Yep.
So you got a GMT, you got the power reserve, and you got 3 registers and the date and the Grand Seiko offset. Yeah, a lot of going on there. I'm not sure. I mean, I'm into different as well, but this may be just aesthetically all over the place for me.
Yeah, it's a little busy, but I mean, like I said, I it's not for me, but I don't hate it either. It's just I get that there's gonna be people, that want it.
Yeah, the GMT, this one here is 44.
Yeah.
So it's a big boy. It's a big boy. They both are.
Yep.
But I like that, I
You got a
in
big wrist.
40, I wouldn't consider it whatsoever, but in 44, probably not gonna go for it. But I do like it.
Yeah. Chaz is saying that GMT is already sold out
Oh,
on the
okay. So
GS. Um,
no need to
Cornerdale's busy.
consider.
Yeah. Um, hey Ross, how you doing? Thanks for joining us. Do.
Oh, they made 1,500 pieces and it's already sold out. Interesting.
I want to rock that big Archie horned GS. Oh man. Oh boy. Okay, so let's see what else is going on here. Um, we got this Jacob and Co. Any interest in talking about that, guys? Or I mean, look, this is another kind of interesting release, right?
Yeah, this is worth talking about.
Um, I gotta tell you, I'll start off. I'm not a big fan. I'm definitely okay with Zenith and other brands going back into the playbook, into the previous releases, vintage releases, and re-releasing them or redoing them. This one, probably could have been left in the past, in my opinion. Just aesthetically looking, it just doesn't really do anything for me. I'm sure it's a good watch. I'm sure it's got great movement. Um, yeah, it's just not for me. Not for me. What do you guys think?
I like that they did it. I mean, it's 250 pieces. This is a 70s or 60s, funk. It's not, I wouldn't buy it, like,
Hmm.
but
It's tiny.
but I think if I saw it on somebody's wrist, I'd think cool watch. It's very different. It's interesting. So yeah, I mean, I would not consider picking one up, but I think it's a cool thing for them to throw out there. 250 pieces. I mean, 250 pieces, nothing.
Yeah, it's sold out already, somebody said, I think.
Yeah, which doesn't surprise me. I mean, I think for me, it's the old one, the one that it's trying to a reissue of the older version is it's probably, I don't know, I like it a whole lot better
Mm,
uh
Yeah.
because it's maybe weathered, and it
mm.
looks older, you know what I mean? This, I don't know.
I've seen almost nothing but hate for this watch today. So I guess again,
I
I
don't
wouldn't
hate it.
consider it, but
There's
I
people
don't feel the
that
way that
liked
other
it.
people do.
Mostly they don't, but a few did like it.
Mm,
I definitely not for me. Way too small. I don't get the design. The
mm.
holes in the bracelet make no sense. I know there's a name for it, but makes no sense to me. But I can see that some people with a small wrist, that like that type of design, I can see that they would go for it.
Yeah, look, I mean, you're right. There's been a lot of hate on it. I mean, I don't hate it per se. It's just, you don't need to go and pick something from the previous, from the collection from long ago every time. Some things are just better kept in the past. You know, that's the way I look at it. And this is, for me, my opinion, which means nothing to nobody. It's just, this should have been kept in the vault. Um,
Yeah, I mean, I sure hope that they're not gonna keep going in that direction. That would.
Has a good point here. I'm just glad to see that Zenith is not an the Zenith is not an Alpramero, right?
That's true.
Yeah. Waco likes it. Well, there you go. He's an influencer.
Yeah, but I'm with Clayton on that one.
Seiko's the Zenith is giving James Seiko 5 vibes. Um, Anything special about the movement? Let's see here. Oops. I'm not sure. Let's see what movement is. Is it a regular?
It's an elite caliber. I
It's an
don't think
elite.
so.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think there's anything. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Elite 670. 50-hour power reserve. Yeah. 300 meters water resistance. That's interesting.
Interesting, yeah, for such a small thing.
Yeah. 37 millimeters, but 13.6
It's a
thick.
chunky little.
It's chunky. Yeah. Yeah. It's chunky. I don't mind 13.6 if it's like a 40 or 42. If I feel like that gets spread out a little easier. Um, this is chunky. Okay, well,
You
yeah.
know, a few years ago when they do one of these revival designs, the all the Hodinkee comments would be like, and same thing with Worn and Wound, like, oh great, they brought it back. Why'd they have to make it bigger? So I guess for
Mhm.
that Waco demographic, those people want to see those vintage watches come back just like the original one, same size, everything. Yeah, not for me, but somebody's out there happy about this. They only
Uh,
got to make 250 people happy.
yeah. Dan wants us to kill it with fire. Ross comes across as a lower end Zenith, similar to a Zodiac. Yeah, good point. Um, Waco does like everything. He likes Baltic. I can see the Seiko 5 for sure. Short and stubby. I bet it would look much better at 300 meters underwater in the dark. Okay. Looks like this was made by a micro brand.
Speaking of
Uh,
micro brands, can you pull up this Fantasos Triclops right here?
is it out here?
It's right there. Upper
Where?
right. So I'm seeing this everywhere.
Oh,
There's an
really?
article on Time and Tide saying like it's so unusually creative. I mean, this is like a Urwerk ripoff mixed with a micro brand kind of. I don't know. I can see why somebody might spend $600 on this Wandering Hours because the mechanism is kind of reminiscent of the Urwerk mechanism.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Um, but to say that it's like trailblazing or super creative, it's
That's
just
ridiculous.
ridiculous, right? Like, what's that case? That case is like a lot of other cases that we've seen
Yeah,
recently.
Of course,
yeah.
yeah.
And then they took the Urwerk thing for the middle.
Yeah, these journalists, you know, I don't
Yeah.
all the hyperbole.
I'm not saying nobody should get it. I mean, yeah, if you want an inexpensive Wandering Hours, it's kind of cool looking. You don't mind that they're copying stuff from different brands.
Yeah.
Do you? You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Completely different customer
Yeah.
base for stuff like that, and
I mean, I've seen more
don't call it like
egregious.
original.
I've seen more egregious ripoffs.
Yeah.
You know, I don't hate this as much.
When I
But
say 600, I think that's the Kickstarter price. I don't know if
yeah,
that's the price. Somebody, Neff was asking if it's 600.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think I saw it somewhere. Um, you could go if you want something more interesting, right? You could go Gorilla. No, doesn't Gorilla have a Wandering Hour?
Gorilla Wandering Hours steps the price up to
Yeah, 3,000.
3,000.
Yeah,
Yeah. Uh, let me show you what I'm talking about.
yeah.
I think it's Time and Tide. I'm just reacting to the headlines.
Hmm.
Share screen. This is the kind of stuff that just I'm like, come on. You know? The rarest of things, a truly original watch. It's like,
Yeah.
I mean, Urwerk. I mean, the central part, right? Just the way that it does the Wandering Hours
Mm-hmm.
is straight up lifted, right? So then that leaves the case, and the case is pretty generic.
Yeah, yeah.
It looks like a mixture of Thenis and GP.
Zenith GP, yeah, it's not horrible looking. I again, and the mechanism is it's a fun complication. I don't know why they wouldn't put a minutes track at the here instead of just some weird dashes. I think the logo is terrible.
How do you
But
read the time on this? Marcel wants to know.
so as it comes around, this so this would be like 6 o'clock, right? Um, well, I don't know if this thing looks like it's spinning actually counterclockwise. So 5 gets here, so this would be 5 o'clock until this would be like 5:30. Actually, I don't know which way it's spinning. If it's spinning clockwise, then this is 6 o'clock, and then when it gets here, it would be 6:30, and then over by the time it gets here, it would be 7. At that point, this one would have gotten over here, and this 4 would have flipped over to be a 7. Does that make sense? And then as the 7 pans across, this hand would come around and start over here as an 8. You probably have a video.
Yeah. Net that 600. I don't care if it's a copy of an Urwook. Yeah, I mean, if you like it, I mean, for sure.
Early bird special 648.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I'm not trying to trash it. I just
Right.
yeah. I'm just don't know why you'd call it super creative or unique.
That's a Doxa 600T case. Isn't Tide and Tide? Aren't they also those? Didn't they do that collab
Yeah.
with Doxa for the 600? Or
Sure,
was
it
it a
looks
collab,
good.
or was it more like they were just selling it?
I don't know. This is
one
a
that-
better picture. You see how this over here, this 6 and the 8, they're not pointing at anything, right? So you
Right.
ignore these, right? So it's 7, and then it's a little bit past a quarter, so it's like 7, a little 7:17, you know?
Okay.
And then by the time this gets over here, the 8 hour will be starting at the 0
Gotcha.
and coming across.
Yeah, I mean, look, I mean, what I was getting at with time and Tide is like, they're in the business of selling watches too. Like, they're just as guilty as something as a Revolution watch, with hyperbole and exaggeration, um, with the description of these watches. Waco did it with Baltic. These guys are doing it with this watch. I'm sure they're selling this watch somehow.
Mm.
Just like how they did with the Doxa, that Doxa 600, the one that Colin picked up and a couple of guys picked up, they were selling it. And then the guy does a video about the top 5 watch releases of the year, from like $1,000 to $5,000, and his like number 4 or number 3 was that Doxa. You know what I mean? Even though he was selling it. So
Yeah.
it's just like who with Hodinkee, selling watches now, and
Yeah.
and all these other major influencers having being in the game of selling watches. It's just like, who can you trust, right? So that's a whole lot of unnecessary tech that literally nobody asked for. Sam is saying that they've done a collab with Zenith for an all black with blue skeleton dial, the Defy model. Yeah, so they work with brands to do collaborations. Okay. So guys, we're getting close to the 10 o'clock hour. Wolfie, what do you got going on for the rest of the week?
What's today? Tuesday. We have a little more than 1 week, 1.5 weeks still here. So
Yeah.
just hanging out, enjoying the sun before it gets back to winter.
Yeah.
And
Enjoying your American watches before you have to say goodbye to them.
Well, yeah.
Do you take a moment with them? Do you like take out the microfiber and just like clean them off, dust them off, and just put them back in their respective cushion?
Not really.
Oh, that's what I would do.
I got
That's what I
a
would do too.
box for them, so because I didn't have a watch box here.
Yeah.
But definitely got to put the Paul Weber back on because it's gonna stay here too. And
Oh, how
Such
do
a
you
great
leave that
watch, man.
watch?
one of the latest acquisitions, so I didn't have it on the wrist much. So that's gonna be back on soon.
Wolfie, do you collect anything other than than watches? Like, I mean, do you have anything else that interests you that you would collect? No. I mean,
No.
you like cigars, right? I mean, like, would you consider
Yeah,
yourself like
but
a?
I no, I'm not. The cigars I buy are the ones that I basically the want to smoke.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course.
So I know a few people that collect more like the collecting aspect in cigars is there where they would get something rare and something special and they would not smoke it. They would store it in the humidor and they keep it. But I'm not like that with cigars. I don't collect anything else. No,
Yeah.
no. I
And
mean,
anything? What about you? I mean, you've done. I'm not gonna ask you about what you got planned. I haven't. I'll ask you that later.
All right.
Any? You're you have some hobbies, other hobbies, right? I mean, camera. I mean, photography and whatnot. Do you like collect like different like? Have you collected cameras, or is that something that interests you?
I've
Or
bought a lot of cameras and lenses, not like to have a collection, but
mm-hmm.
to use them. But
Yeah,
but I changed cameras and lenses way more than is reasonable, like for actually doing photography. It was more for the trying out different things and technology and different lens renderings and stuff. But I haven't done that in a long time.
yeah,
Yeah, and I've collected some audio equipment, things like headphones, amps,
mm-hmm.
stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But lately I haven't been doing that either. So watches kind of took it all over for me. Like
Y-
I've collected pens before.
yeah,
I've always collected something.
yeah.
But for the past several years and definitely during the pandemic, it's just been watches.
Has watches been the longest standing collection hobby, like in were you collecting pens for years and years, or I'm trying to figure out like is this going to be rotating to something else in a couple years, or do you think you're a lifer when it comes to watch collecting?
Pens went a pretty long time. Yeah,
Hmm.
I can't really say for sure.
Yeah.
I think watches are more interesting though to me than pens. There's more different things about it. Um, you as at least when I was into pens, the thought of like hiring somebody to make a pen the way I wanted to never
Hmm.
entered the picture. I'm sure that kind of stuff can happen, but it didn't enter the picture. The mechanics of watches are more complicated. Um, so am I an
Yeah.
audiophile? I don't think so. I mean, I guess I would like to be if I could say, if I could have a good room and set it up the way I wanted to with the equipment I wanted to and tell my family to like leave me alone while I
Yeah.
listen to music. Like I could enjoy that. I could enjoy trying lots of different audio gear just because of the environment that I'm in. I've mostly listened to music with headphones. And so that limits what you could do. But as far as like audiophile, I mean, there are times when I've gone through many headphones to try to figure out which headphone amp, DAC, source was that I wanted for this kind of music versus that kind of music.
Hmm.
So I've been a little down the rabbit hole with that.
sounds like it. Yeah.
Speaking of music, like what kind of music do you listen to? If you don't mind me asking, like
I pretty much listen to everything. It's true. Um, I listened to growing up a lot of rock.
yeah,
And then I would say in college onward, I listened to a lot of rap
yeah,
and now I listen to both. That's and jazz and fusion, I would say. Not that
yeah,
much, not really country. No modern pop, no like hits to
man,
2020 hits.
man, that's all I listen to now because of the kids. They love that kids bop, and
I mean, they make me listen to it. And some of it's okay,
yeah,
some pop music I hear, they're talented and they're okay. Um, some of the rappers that Philip listens to are pretty good, I
yeah,
gotta say.
yeah.
Although they do this mumble rap thing where you can't understand anything there.
Wait, what?
There's something called mumble rap, and they really like are hard to understand what they're saying. And I'm not saying like that like as an old
Mm,
person, like what are they saying, kind of thing. They really like the purpose of it is is all slurred up.
Ween has an awesome country album that they did with the Elvis Presley backup band
Yeah.
years ago. Pretty awesome, very trippy band to see live for sure. Um, yeah, I don't. I mean, all my exposure to new music is through my kids now with this kids pop. Like my son likes a couple of songs and they're like Lil Nas X songs, and I'm like, oh man, you should if he knew what the real lyrics were. Like, he's just not ready for that. Just not ready for that. You know what I mean? Like, he's got to need 20 more years before he knows what those lyrics are.
I like my kids' music and they like my music a lot more than my parents liked my music. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
Like when I was listening to Led Zeppelin and The Who and all this
yeah.
kind of stuff, it's not like my parents were like could appreciate it or thought it was, cool. These days when I play my music for the kids, they like it, and I like some of their stuff too.
Yeah. I still I find myself like listening to a lot of stuff I used to listen. I go back to the well because that's
Yeah,
what I've known,
yeah,
and so
me
it's a
too.
it's a lot of like rock, metal, also rap, some hip hop. Wolfgang, you big hip hop guy?
No,
No, no. Is
no,
there
that's
any Austrian mumble rap stars that we should know about?
not that I know of.
No.
We got some Austrian music, but I'm not into it. I'm more like internet, more English speaking, international. All the names that you probably know. And
Yeah.
but the only thing that I've never listened to is hip hop and rap
No.
and country also. And the Austrian folklore type. But everything else kind of bits and examples could be found on my iPhone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even a little bit of the back in the day from the hard rock times. Iron Maiden. I think I have a song or two on my iPhone.
Nice. Eric wants to know, Amin, your favorite Zeppelin track. Mine is Into the Light.
Oh God, I don't know. I don't know if I have a favorite.
I tell you what, like when the kids are also not wanting to listen to Kids Bop, we'll throw in, we'll tell Alexa to play. Well, I have to be very careful what I say. Um, songs by the Beatles, and we all listen to the Beatles. We
Oh yeah,
seem the kids seem to like that, and my wife and I, we can all agree that that's that. And the Cars, for some reason we
yeah,
all like listening
yeah.
to the Cars.
Yep.
Um, but no,
Some of
that's
their
interesting.
very new stuff is starting to sound like 80s stuff too. Like
The Weekend, very
The
much, right?
Weeknd sounds 80s. Yeah, somebody
Yeah,
in
I
the
like
chat
them.
mentioned Joy Division. There's only a couple degrees of separation between Joy Division and The Weeknd. I mean, it's like
Yeah, yeah, absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely.
Katie likes the
Cashmere is
weekend.
a great song. What was that,
Yep.
Wolfie?
Katie likes the weekend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, very,
Talented guy.
yeah, very catchy. I think he's doing something with his face though. It's very Michael Jackson-esque.
I
Like I think
played
he's going
these
through.
songs in a band in high school that go to the chat saying the ocean, Kashmir.
Yeah.
We used to
One
play
of my
those
Oh
songs.
yeah.
all-time favorites
Yeah.
probably is that Led Zeppelin song, "Stairway to Heaven," but done by Heart. There's a
Yeah.
YouTube
Ah,
video where the Led Zeppelin guys are in the audience,
Hmm.
and one of the sons is on the drums, and the two Heart girls sing the song. That's one of my the way that's done with the orchestra, and in the end, that's one of my all-time favorites, I would say.
They do a version of the Battle of Evermore. It's on the Singles soundtrack. Singles, the movie Singles. It is amazing. It is
What's it called?
amazing. Battle of Evermore by Heart. I think it's Heart. It's on the Singles soundtrack, uh, the movie soundtrack Singles, which was a great movie, great '90s movie, right?
Evermore.
Grunge and all that. Um,
Wilson
amazing.
just brought up John Denver. When I was graduating from nursery school, we did Leaving on a Jet Plane for our nursery school graduation. You know,
We did Honestly by Striper.
nice.
Yeah, that was actually my idea. It was actually my idea because the nuns wanted us to do "Thank You for Being a Friend" by the Golden Girls theme. But we're like, nah, man, we're doing.
Oh,
we're
and we
doing
did Help by the Beatles.
nice.
Wilson knows all the words. Good.
Well, guys. So, Amin, what do you got this week? What's going on? You have anything coming up with the channel this week?
I'm just thinking about leaving on a jet plane. No. Just, no. I got nothing.
What's going on with you two? Is there something cooking? Is Amin up to something that we should know about? Or
No. Rod's been asking me at the end of every stream for, I feel like a year now, if I got something coming up on the channel this week. I've been so lazy. I haven't done anything on the channel in forever. Like the only thing I used to have coming up was this show, and then I got Rob to take over. So my channel is just languishing. I make a couple bucks off my how to change straps on a Fitbit video.
Have you have a million views on that yet or not?
I steady make dough off that video.
That's amazing.
There's not a week that goes by somebody doesn't buy me a cup of coffee on that video.
That's great. Well, guys, great night. Wolfie, awesome have you again. Look forward to next week. New watch probably. Amin, thank you for joining us this week as well. And guys in the chat, thanks for making it another great Tuesday night. Have a good day and a great week. See you guys next time. Take care.
See you guys.
See you later.